Insta360 and DJI are both sitting on next-generation 360 cameras right now, and the leaks for both have gotten detailed enough that we can finally put them side by side. The Insta360 X6 is the natural successor to the X5, the camera that has held the top spot in this category for over a year. The DJI Osmo 360 II is the more surprising story here, since DJI's first 360 camera only landed last summer, and a sequel already showing up in certification filings says a lot about how seriously DJI wants to win this category. Here is how the rumored specs actually compare.
And today's video is sponsored by no one. If you want to book this spot, just mail us.
Sensor size is where this entire rivalry started, and it remains the headline upgrade on both sides. DJI's original Osmo 360 came out swinging with dual 1/1.1-inch square sensors that work together to match a single 1-inch sensor for 360 capture. That gave DJI a real edge in low light and earned the Osmo 360 a reputation for handling night shots and dim interiors noticeably better than the X5. Insta360 is closing that gap with the X6 by jumping straight to a full 1-inch sensor of its own. That move erases the sensor size advantage DJI has been leaning on since launch and shifts the comparison toward processing and color science instead of raw hardware. The Osmo 360 II leaks don't mention a sensor upgrade so far, which tracks since DJI's current sensor setup is already considered one of the strongest in the category. DJI doesn't need to chase a bigger sensor when its current one is still doing the job. This is shaping up to be the most even sensor matchup the 360 camera space has seen since DJI entered it. Resolution has settled at 8K for both brands, and that ceiling isn't moving with either camera. What is moving is frame rate, and this is the category where the X6 takes a real lead. The X5 tops out at 8K 30, dropping to 5.7K for 60 FPS in single lens mode. The Osmo 360 already beat that with native 8K at 30 FPS and an upscaled 50 FPS mode, giving DJI bragging rights on smoother motion right out of the gate. The X6 is set to push past that with native 8K at 60 FPS, doubling what the X5 could do and edging past the Osmo 360's current ceiling. For anyone shooting bikes, skiing, motorsports, or anything with fast movement, that frame rate jump matters more in day-to-day shooting than another resolution bump ever would. The Osmo 360 II leaks haven't mentioned any frame rate changes, which suggests DJI is holding its current 8K 50 ceiling for at least one more generation. Frame rate looks like the clearest win for Insta360 in this entire comparison. Color has been one of DJI's quiet advantages, and Insta360 is fixing it directly. The X5 currently shoots 8-bit color, while the Osmo 360 launched with 10-bit D-Log-M support, giving DJI footage more room to breathe in color grading. The X6 is bringing 10-bit color to the X series for the first time, matching what DJI has offered since day one and putting both cameras on equal footing for serious post-production work. Software is where Insta360 still holds the advantage. Insta360 Studio and the mobile app have years of lead time on automated reframing, AI highlight detection, and one-tap editing, and the X6 is adding even deeper AI tools on top of that foundation. DJI's Mimo app has improved a lot since the Osmo 360 launched, with features like pano dewarp and automatic orientation switching during edits, but most creators still treat Insta360's app as the more polished, more intuitive experience overall. The Osmo 360 II leaks don't point to any new editing features tied to this hardware refresh, so DJI's software gains may be saved for a separate Mimo update down the line rather than bundled with this launch. This is the one category where DJI's sequel has something concrete on paper already. The Osmo 360 II has shown up in FCC filings with a 2,150 mAh battery, up from the 1,950 mAh cell in the original Osmo 360, a roughly 10% jump in capacity. It's not a flashy spec, but battery life is one of the most common complaints leveled at compact 360 cameras in general, so a real boost here could matter more to everyday shooters than another headline number would. The X6 leaks haven't said much about battery changes specifically, and a bigger sensor paired with higher frame rates usually demands more power, so efficiency is quietly becoming a battleground of its own. DJI is betting that longer real-world shooting time will win over buyers who don't care about chasing spec sheets, while Insta360 is betting that creators will trade a bit of battery life for the bigger imaging upgrade. Both bets make sense depending on who's actually buying the camera. Neither company has shown off a finished design yet, but the shape of each camera is likely to stay close to what we already know. The Osmo 360 uses a squarer, more block-like body, compared to the candy bar shape of the X series, and there's no reason to think DJI changes that formula for a battery-focused refresh. If the Osmo 360 II keeps the same housing with a slightly larger cell inside, it should land in roughly the same weight class as the original, which came in at 184 grams. Insta360's X series has stuck with its slim, pocketable shape since the first model, and the X6 isn't expected to break that pattern, especially since that shape is what makes the invisible selfie stick effect work so well. One area worth watching is lens durability. The X5 introduced swappable lenses for the first time, fixing one of the biggest pain points in 360 cameras, since the lenses are the part most likely to get scratched during action use. The Osmo 360 still uses fixed lenses, and nothing in the Osmo 360 II leaks suggests that's changing. If DJI sticks with fixed lenses again, that gives Insta360 a practical, real-world advantage that has nothing to do with sensors or frame rates, and it's the kind of thing that matters most to anyone who actually uses these cameras outdoors on a regular basis. Pricing rumors land both cameras in a similar bracket. The Insta360 X6 is expected to sit between $549 and $599 for the standard bundle, in line with the price jump from the X4 to the X5. The Osmo 360 II is tracking toward $499 to $579 for the base bundle, with an adventure combo priced between $629 and $729. With pricing this close, the deciding factor for most buyers comes down to specs and ecosystem rather than cost. Timing is the more interesting part of this story. The X6 was originally expected in April, following Insta360's usual spring release pattern, but certification activity now points to a launch sometime between late spring and early summer.